Give it up for the Toadies. Guys, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
When in July, because I was waiting around, I heard you guys had a new album, and then it came out, and I started to go through it, and I thought, holy crap, like, not that I thought it was going to be bad, don't look at me that way, but it was like, I started to think about it because there's not a, like, if you listen to the Toadies, and I remember this driving through Colorado Springs, there was a station there that I ended up eventually working for, but I heard Possum Kingdom, never heard it before. I called the station, I'm like, what the hell is this? So we go through the whole thing, but like, you guys are your own sound. There's not anybody that sounds like you guys, and there's not anybody, like and I know there's influences with everybody, but it's like, no, it sounds like the Toadies.
Yeah, well, I take that as a compliment. Yeah, thank you.
And I've said this before when you guys were here before, like your voice is so unique to you, which I think lends a lot to that as well. But when you have the new album, is it hard to, like, is it hard to be the Toadies? That's what I want to know. That's the question.
No. I mean, we don't really try to fall under like certain parameters or whatever. Especially with this record, we just kind of went in and we're just fooling around. And we'd started off just wanting to make an EP and just try out some new ideas, and it just kind of kept steamrolling into this album. So
now, was there any downtime for you guys before the album to where kind of everybody had their own stuff kind of they wanted to bring to the table?
Yeah, we got some time off to relax and everything. So I had had a couple of songs that were kind of fully realized-ish, and then just some ideas, and we got together for a week or so before going to the studio and fleshed them out, and then continued to do so in the studio.
Now I try to tell everybody because, like, it's one of those things where it's not a bad thing to be branded as a Texas band, but you guys are a Texas band, but you just happen to be known worldwide. There's so much, when you go everywhere else, most of the world, relax.
Thanks, Donnie.
But when you go, I mean, people always seem to have a certain perception when they hear that you're from Texas. When you go out to any other state or any other country, what's like the weirdest or craziest thing that people assume from you? Like, probably that you have a weapon, that's one thing.
Yeah, usually.
Wait, none of you guys are armed, right?
Not now.
No.
Okay.
He's not.
I'm not.
Now, when you guys, like now, what's the plan for you guys? Because the album came out in July, and then obviously you're touring here, but what's this year look like for the Toadies?
We go out, we did about a month with Helmet co-headlining.
And which was here, sold out show.
Yeah, it was great. That was the first day of the tour, second day. And then we go out with them again in about a week and a half or so and we did the East Coast, and then now we're going to do the West Coast. And we're really looking forward to that. Beyond that, I don't know, I'm sure it'll fill up.
Now, do you guys see, with the span of your career where you know this or that audience, that you know you're going to go into this town and you'll at least recognize a couple people that have been there at every Toadies show, but now do you see kind of a generation change of new, like, I want to say kids, because everybody south of 40 to me feels like a kid, but it's like where you see these new fans that are all of a sudden, they don't have any real idea that you're just brand new to them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of that. I mean, we've always had a pretty diverse crowd. And then we went away in 01 and came back in 08, and they had gotten older and had kids, and the crowd just got bigger and more diverse and weirder and cooler. And you know, there's kids that I never heard of you guys, and then I played Guitar Hero 2, and they went out and bought the albums.
Now, what is that like for you guys? Because I always think about it, like Black Hole Sun from Soundgarden, I had no idea how crazy weird those lyrics were until you try to do it in Rock Band, and you're like, what? And then I found bands that I hate because I can't play the stupid drum part right, and I can't get the guitar play. Like, for you guys, is it weird to look at a video game and all of a sudden you guys are part of it? Like,
well, they made it harder to play Possum Kingdom on the game than it actually is. I'm terrible at Possum Kingdom on Guitar Hero 2.
Just for the record, I've never talked with any band who's ever had a song in that game that's ever been able to easily duplicate the performance.
It's true.
But is it weird? Because it's like all of a sudden you're part of a whole culture of people that, I mean, I've talked to bands where they're like, you know, we have never been played in Japan or Uganda or wherever, and all of a sudden there's kids there that are playing your songs that have never heard of you before. Is that weird?
Yeah. Yeah. This job is really weird, and it's as soon as you get used to it, it gets something else weird happens. It's great. I love it.
It's not that weird for you guys.
There's always something, man.
Well, yeah. Now, we started playing Summer of the Strange when I got it, and I remember I got like the little email that said, "Hey, you're getting a new song from the Toadies this afternoon." And there's that one part of you where you're always like, you're cautiously optimistic because you're like, I don't want to get too excited because what if it's not? And then I got it in my office and just blasted it, and it's like I hate saying, well, it sounds like the Toadies because it sounds like it just demeans what it is, but it was like, this is it. Like I sat in my office all day cranking it up, and it's like we started playing it and people dig it, and it's like, do you sense that like when you go out? Because I know do you even care when you put an album out what people think?
I try not to think about it too much. I mean, of course I want people to like it ultimately, but when I'm writing, that can't be part of the process because everything just goes to hell.
Now, is it hard for you to, because you've diversified into other projects. Is it hard for you to ever focus on the Toadies, or is it, this is Toadies mode, we're going to do it?
No, I'm pretty objective. I mean, what do you call it? Motivated towards a project, you know?
It's definitely
singularly focused.
If you have not heard the new album, by the way, you need to get it because you'll see what he's talking about. Okay, you got a few fans here.
Right on.
It's not like a foreign country. Are you guys ready for the Toadies tonight? Thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having us,
I'm
man.
glad you guys are here. The new album is awesome.
Thank you.
Everybody needs to pick it up. And I wouldn't just say, I'm not here like, hey, it's awesome. Like, it's great. So thank you guys so much for being here. Give it up.